Our Computex 2019 coverage is made possible thanks to Corsair, Patriot, EK, Titra and Viper Gaming. Hey everyone, I'm Andy Rafael from eTeknix.com, and today sees the official day for Computex 2019. Firstly, I want to apologise for the quite dimly lit room. This is our Airbnb, and yeah, the lighting's not fantastic. But moving on with the point of this video. So we actually headed out to the opening ceremony. So basically, this is where Titra get on stage and essentially open up the show. And while they didn't sort of mention too much, they kind of went through a few little bits here and there of kind of what they're going to expect from the show. And I want to tell you kind of what I'm expecting. I'm expecting probably a lot of stuff from big brands such as, and the point of this video, AMD. We're going to see some stuff from Nvidia. There's also going to be a lot from the likes of Corsair, I know for a fact, and probably chassis manufacturers in general. I think they're all trying to sort of do something a little bit different in terms of innovation and bringing something new to market. There's also going to be a lot of stuff from the likes of EK, Patriot, and lots of other brands that you know and love out there. I think maybe we might see RGB taking kind of the next step, the next level, and sort of seeing, you know, how that can be integrated into more and more products. And I think we're just going to start seeing a lot more products either going up in terms of performance and speed, or coming down in price, or a mixture of the two. Now, moving on with the rest of this video, I want to talk to you about AMD. So after the opening ceremony, they actually introduced Dr. Lisa Su, CEO of AMD, and she had a lot of stuff to go through. Firstly, being GPUs. Now, we haven't actually seen a new GPU in around 7 years, but this marks something completely new for AMD in terms of the actual architecture from Team Red. So what we have here is Navi. Yes, we've been sort of, I guess, awaiting it for quite some time, but it's actually now becoming a reality. And with the fact that they're launching it under the 7nm fabrication process on the 7th of the 7th, and I believe they're probably going to launch it at 7 o'clock. So yeah, a nice little way that they've done that. So it's not actually too far away. They've promised, hopefully they deliver. Now, when it comes to performance on this, there's not really too much to go on, but from what we saw, it was pretty much on par, if not a little bit better than an RTX 2070. So as long as the pricing is, you know, what they're claiming it's going to be, then yeah, I think we're in for a real treat with that. In terms of sort of other specifications of the Navi based graphics card, it's going to be called the RX 5000 series. So yes, we are going to have sort of lower end SKUs as well as higher end SKUs using that 7nm fabrication process. By being 7nm, it means that it offers better efficiency, more instructions per cycle, and also having the new multi-level cache hierarchy. All of this is designed to reduce latency, offer more bandwidth, and more raw performance, which is, I guess, what we actually all want. It's nice to have maybe a little bit more competition back in the market against Nvidia. In terms of some of the claims, AMD are actually claiming 25% improvement in per clock performance and 50% improvement in per watt performance. So that's what we've got for Navi and sort of the next generation of graphics cards. 7nm, released on July 7th. And yeah, I just hope that the performance is kind of what I'm expecting it to be, as well as the pricing. So please, AMD, don't let us down on this one. The other key important point of Navi is the fact that it's not going to be using the GCN architecture. It's actually going to be cool using RDNA, so Radeon Dna basically, which is a pretty cool name. I'm sure you'll agree. Now, what this actually means is that the core design has been developed from the ground up. So yes, we know with AMD in the past has been a refresh of a refresh of a refresh, but this is something completely new. The other big announcement was, of course, on the CPU and motherboard front. So X570's sort of chipset, as well as the new Ryzen 3rd generation processors. So when it comes to the processors, as we all know, when Ryzen first generation processors hit the market, they did extremely well. They were competitively priced and offered good performance for the money. The kind of second generation just moved on from that and made it even better. And currently, if you are building sort of a system at a certain price point, AMD is probably the way to go if you are sort of looking at getting that performance on a budget. Third generation looks to continue that trend even more. So much like their GPUs, we are looking at, again, 7nm technology on these CPUs. They've tweaked pretty much every aspect of the chip design. You can expect 2 times the floating point performance, as well as 2 times the cache size. Now, both of these actually mean that you're going to have big improvements for the likes of creators and gamers. And frankly, I can't actually wait to see it in action. Now, the most impressive thing, in my opinion, is the Ipc Uplift. They actually aimed for an 8% improvement, but they managed a whopping 15% improvement. This means that there's more instructions per clock, and that means everything benefits from that speed boost, no matter whether you're a gamer, a creator, or everything in between. So obviously talking about the architecture is one thing, but what products are actually going to appear in the stack? Well, firstly, we have Ryzen 7. So with the Ryzen 7 processors, firstly, there is the 3700X. It has double the size cache at 36 megabytes, and it will boost up to 4.4 gigahertz. And it offers the usual 8-core, 16-thread design. Now, AMD have always been a bit behind when it comes to efficiency, but not anymore. At just 65 watts, this is a very efficient processor. It should run cooler than the previous generation as well. AMD also claim that their single-core performance on the Ryzen 3rd Gen are on par or better than Intel, and their multi-core performance is significantly faster. Of course, that will be put to the test when we do all of our reviews in the near future. Now, after unveiling the 3700X, they wanted to shout about the 3800X. For gamers, this is pretty much their best option. It offers a more powerful 4.5 GHz boost mode, and AMD demonstrated this against the i9-9900K, and well, the performance was extremely closely matched between the two. Now, the one that I'm actually looking forward to the most is going to be the new Ryzen 9 3900X. So we're looking at a 12-core, 24-thread processor that can boost up to 4.6 gigahertz. It has a total of 70 megabytes cache and a 105-watt TDP, which is pretty impressive. Now, when it comes to pricing, we are looking at the 3700X coming in at $349.99, the 3800X at $399.99, and the Ryzen 9 12-core 3900X is going to be $499.99 US dollars, less than half the price of the equivalent 12-core CPU from Intel, which is actually slower than the new AMD one from what we've seen so far. Obviously, reviews will really give us a better indication on that. Now, obviously, these new processors will need a motherboard to go with it. So actually listening to AMD and what they had to say on the motherboard front, they've been sort of telling us that they have, or at least they're expecting, 56 motherboards from their partners. So it's going to be from the likes of Asus, Gigabyte, MSI, ASRock, and many, many more. So with the new motherboards with the X570 chipset, we have things such as PCI Express 4.0, which when AMD were testing it, it showed that they took the lead yet again. Now, I'm really eager to actually see what this means, and just the other day, we did see that Gigabyte have unveiled their PCI Express Gen 4 or 4.0 NVMe drive, offering a stonking 5,000 megabytes a second read and write speeds. So lots of exciting stuff going on. As obviously Computex kind of, goes through the week, I'm sure we will be meeting up with the likes of Asus, MSI, Gigabyte, and all of them other kind of brands that you know and love, and checking out and getting maybe a first glimpse of some of these motherboards. We're going to have a lot more content for you for Computex 2019, so be sure to check that out, and also our social media channels where we will be doing a lot of kind of pictures, videos, and maybe we'll even do some live videos as well. Until next time, guys, see you later. Bye-bye. Now, the most impressive thing... Fuck's sake, I can't say impressive. So after the opening ceremony from Titra, they introduced Lisa...